All right, we can start it now. Mbak Gayatri.
Okay, ma'am. Let's start our agenda today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
To Honorable the Vice Dean of Faculty of Letters, to Honorable the Head of Study Program of English Literature, Universitas Muhammadiyah Purwokerto, to Honorable the Head of Study Program of Language and Literature Department, College of Arts and Sciences of Mariano Marcos State University, and all the beloved participants. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let us praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who always given His mercy and grace to us. Blessings and greeting always be devoted to the Prophet Muhammad, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sharing Forum, Cultural Talk Show, Faculty of Letters, University of Muhammadiyah Purwokerto, and College of Arts and Sciences, Mariano Marcos State University. My name is Gayatri Laksmi Maheswari, and today I will be serving as your Master of Ceremony. Before we start, I would like to read the sequence of today's event. First is opening. The second is the Holy Quran recitation. The third is welcoming speech. The fourth is main agenda, and the last is closing. For the first session is opening. Let's open today's event by saying Basmalah together.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
The second session is the Holy Quran recitation. The Holy Quran recitation will be recited by Bintang Adehati. So Bintang, time is yours.
All right, thank you for the Master of Ceremony. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ar-Rahman 'allamal Qur'an khalaqal insan 'allamahul bayan asy-syamsu wal qamaru bihusban wan najmu wasy-syajaru yasjudan was-samaa'a rafa'aha wa wada'al mizan alla tadghaw fil mizan wa aqimul wazna bil qisti wa la tukhsirul mizan wal arda wada'aha lil anam fiha fakihatun wan nakhlu datul akmam wal habdul asfi war rayhan fa bi ayyi ala'i rabbikuma tukadziban. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, the beneficent, hath made known the Quran. He hath created man. He hath taught him utterance. The sun and the moon are made punctual. The stars and the trees prostrate. And the sky he hath uplift, and he hath set the measure, that ye exceed not the measure. But observe, the measure strictly, not fall short thereof. And the earth hath he appointed for his creature, wherein are fruit and salted palm trees, has grain and scanted herb. Which is it of the favor of your Lord, that you deny? Sadaqallahul Azim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Bintang, for the Holy Quran recitation. The third session is welcoming speech. The welcoming speech will be given by Mrs. Fitri Rahmawati. To Mrs. Fitri, time is yours.
Yeah, is my face clear? Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear partners, colleges, prospective students of Faculty of Letters, Universitas Muhammadiyah Purwokerto, Indonesia, and College of Art and Sciences, Mariano Marcos State University, Philippines. Good morning. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to International Students Forum as a collaborations agenda between Faculty of Letters, Universitas Muhammadiyah Purwokerto, and College of Arts and Sciences, Mariano Marcos University, Philippines. On behalf of Faculty of Letters, I welcome you to discover more about cross-cultural information from students of Faculty of Letters and students of College of Arts and Sciences, Mariano Marcos University. This is the second collaborative international students agenda or forum conducted by Faculty of Letters and College of Art and Sciences, Mariano Marcos University, that aims to share knowledge and experiences about cross-cultural understanding around the world. And I hope there will be more programs or forum between these two faculties, and that will be good too for this collaboration. First, I would like to thank to the Dean of Faculty of Letters, Bapak Ambar Pujiatno, and Vice Dean of Faculty of Letters, Ibu Sulasih Nurhayati, and Professor Danica from Mariano Marcos University. And I would like to thanks to all speakers from both UMP and Mariano Marcos University. And okay, I would like to thanks to all lecturers from UMP, Faculty of Letters, UMP, and College of Art and Sciences, Mariano Marcos University. Okay, and okay, welcome, and thanks to the speakers from UMP, Desi, Dina, Alfina, Aymen, Mohin, Aurora, Magenta, and also the speakers from MMSU, Saint Kate, Rafael, Hector, Tutop, Neljan, Earl, go back, sorry if there is a mistake in pronouncing this. Okay, in this virtual sharing forum, I noticed there are 98 participants from both UMP and MSU. A warm welcome to you all. Okay, dear ladies and gentlemen, we hope this sharing forum will help us and give us a chance to develop better insight to our knowledge about cross-cultural understanding and best ideas and fresh innovations in our field. It would be a great happiness for Faculty of Letters, UMP, to host such event. And I would like to convey my deepest gratitude to all of you for being here, for sharing this opportunity and great event with us. I wish you all a very enjoyable discussions. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ms. Fitri, for the welcoming speech. Now we're moving on to our main agenda today. For the fourth session is a cultural talk show. The cultural talk show will be guided by Mutohar Lutfi. So Lutfi, time is yours.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Oh, such a very handsome and very beautiful people around here. It's like, thank you for Gayatri Lasmi also, and thank you for Miss Noor and Miss Fitri Rahmawati, and also for
It's
all.
great to be speaking with all of you today in behalf of the
Yeah, it's like who's talking? I mean, like, please, Nell. Oh yeah, good morning. Greetings for me also, and good morning all of you. Good morning, students for all over Indonesians and the Philippines, and also here is also 100. I mean, like 1,100 students from all over the world to participate in this Zoom. Please give applause. Yay! Okay. Before I start my before we start our talk show today, let me introduce myself. My name is Mutohar Lutfi, or you can call me Lutfi. I am the 2019 batch of student from the Faculty of Letters, Universitas Muhammadiyah Purwokerto. Now I'm in semester 5th semester in the English department. And I want to greet all of the Philippines student. Mabuhay, Philippines. Hi, Philippines. It's also great to meet all of you. Mabuhay. And for Indonesian people also, selamat pagi semuanya. That's very great. And yeah, it's Mabuhay Danisa also. And you are all very brilliant students, I know it, and very handsome. And I want to get to know more about you in here and in the cultural talk show. You can open your camera first before we are going to the cultural talk show. Whoa, there's so many handsome and beautiful students from the Philippines or from Indonesia. Yeah, mabuhay. Yes, cool. And you also can turn off your camera before we start our cultural talk show here. And this cultural talk show is the aim to engage the knowledge either from the Philippine students or the Indonesian students to better cross-cultural understanding. Why it's matter cross-cultural understanding? Because we are social human as a social life basic and the social needs, and we need to know more about how the culture is engaged in our society. It's also for either for the academic purposes or personal life purposes. It's also good to you if you want to emphasize or want to eager to learn about another culture in around the world, especially in the Philippines and Indonesia, because sometimes I also mention some kind of similarities between the Philippines and Indonesian also. And here's a very special occasion. We have students from far away from Morocco. And yeah, I want to greet him too. It's my best friend too. Hello, Aymen. How are you?
Hello.
Hi. Yes. Yes, it's very great to meet you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure too.
Yeah, and in here it's very matter because between the Philippines or Indonesians also Moroccan have similarities. For example, I mentioned some language that it's very similar with Indonesian language. For example, like Philippines, buayang. Buayang is like crocodiles. In Indonesia it's also buaya. Yeah, that's very great and similarities. That's why we want to learn more about cross-cultural understanding. Yes, ikan is also fish. In here, ikan too. Yeah. Okay. For the technical for our cultural talk here, cultural talk show here, there's 3 questions for the 6 students, either from the Philippines or the Indonesians. From the Philippines, we have the 3 students, and the 4 Indonesian sides, we have 3 students too. And there are 3 questions to all of you who want to share your knowledge and your understanding. And each questions, each participants have 5 minutes to answer. I want to remind you, if you want to reach the limit of 5 minutes, I want to mention you in chat box, and kindly to see in the chat box who for who you are sharing your sessions. Thank you. And I want to welcome first from the Philippines or from the Mariano Marcos University. There are 3 students. I want to welcome, but when when I mention your name, please to open your camera and say hello to all of the participants here. And I want to greet first from the Mariano Marcos State University. The first student is Sean K. Rafael. Hello, Sean. Mabuhay. Is there Sean K. Rafael here?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. So
Hello everyone, mabuhay.
Mabuhay. Hello, Sean. All right, and the second student is Hector Tutop. Hello, Hector Tutop. Good morning. Mabuhay.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Ooh, so handsome, right? Okay, the next is Neljan Earl Gubact.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Everyone, mabuhay po.
Hi, mabuhay po. Also from the Indonesian side, the first is belongs to Desi, Dina, Alfina. Hello Desi, selamat pagi. Good morning. All right, and second is Aymen Mohin. Hello Aymen, good morning.
Hi, selamat pagi. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning, cool. And lastly is from the Indonesian is Aurora Magenta Diva. Hello Aurora.
Hello everyone, good morning.
So cheerful. Our student here
Yes.
so cheerful. Yeah, you should be cheerful. You should be very focused to our main topic discussion here, because the students who wants to deliver their sessions are very great students, very brilliant students. So you make sure that you catch all of their topic, and if there is something like important, you can take notes, because yeah, if you lose it, I mean, like, it's a very good occasion, right, in this session. So make sure you are focused, but you still enjoy and relax. And let us going to our main discussion here. There is 3 questions. The first who should be answered is belongs to the Philippine student, and second session is belongs to the Indonesian student. But here's the technique. For example, like for the first questions, who will be answered is from the Philippine students, and the second answers from the Indonesian student. I mean, it's in one question. And the second question is also, the technique is also, the mechanism is also same. Philippine first answer, and the second is Indonesian. Okay, got it? Do you have any question before I start?
It's clear now, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it's very a great questions. I mean, like, I want to ask a question to you, and you can share all of your knowledge and all of your understanding based on your cultural background also. And in here, I want to ask a question for the Philippine students, yeah, Sam, Hector, or Neljan. As a Philippines, or as a Philippines, or for, yes, as a Philippines or students, what specialties like specialities of your country do you want to promote to foreigners, and also for Indonesians or Moroccan? Yes, as a Philippines, Indonesian, or Moroccan students, what specialties of your country do you want to promote foreigners? Like, I know, right, that all of you have a very wonderful like tourism object in your country. Yes, for the Philippine students, time is yours to answer.
Hello everyone. Should I go first?
Yeah,
Filipino.
Sen, sure, you can go first.
Okay. Aside from the attributes of the Filipino people that very hardworking and have a strong sense of familism, personally, I am part of this nationally recognized youth organization in my country that also promotes sustainable development. So if you would come to my country, can I share my screen to everyone, just to give a um um an image or a visual to everyone, what I wanted to promote to everyone. Actually,
Yes,
we prepared
sure.
something for today's session. But
Ooh,
okay, just
cool.
to
That's
just
great.
to okay, here, if for CA right here, Ilocos Norte in the Philippines is also aiming to have a sustainable energy. So one of the tourist spots that we have is the Bangi Windmill and the Solar Panel here in Ilocos Norte. So we are aiming for a sustainable development. So aside from having a beautiful sceneries, we were also able to learn more about the benefits of Bangi Windmill and, of course, the solar panels in the discourse of sustainable development. So yeah.
That's cool, Sen. You are very promoting all of the side of the country, not all for the ecotourism, right? But also for the sustainable development goals to reach in the like 17 SDGs to reach in 2030 the world. Like clean energy is very important to promote our country to become the like ecotourism or something. And for the next students, will give a share, or you want to add some additional information, Sen? You still have a time actually. You still have a time for around 2 minutes.
Pardon, please.
Oh, yes, you still have a time, 2 minutes before I continue to another students. Yeah. Do you want to additional information?
No, I don't have any more. Thank you.
Okay, but that's very clear, even though it's just short information, it's very clear. And for the next students from the Philippine side, will be the give informations. Oh, before we give applause to Santu, yeah, cool. Yeah, for the next students, either.
All right, may I share?
Yes, Hector, time is yours.
I'm going to share my screen now. To go with the windmills, I also like to, enhance about the people here, the people, places, and the culture. The people, they're very friendly, you know, very approachable, accommodating. They're very generous, giving what they have, even treating their guests as one of their own. And the food here is delicious. You can tell by the way it's prepared. You can taste the cultural influences from many parts of different countries, all that blended together within the community in the Philippines here. Also, we have many places. We like to enjoy nature, natural beauties. I was lucky enough to visit here the rolling hilltops here in Abra. Beautiful waterfalls, natural waterfalls. Also the beaches, bright sunny beaches all along the coastline. We're surrounded by water, so there's beaches everywhere. We also have a lot of cultural things and history landmarks, such as lighthouse, like the Cape Bojador lighthouse here, and churches where we can learn about our history and past from different cultures, such as the Spaniards who came over here to influence us and lay their mark on the land. And to reiterate the windmills as well.
Oh, sure. That's very, yeah, it's very good information to us as the Philippines or as the world citizens, you know, as they want to, the Philippines want to promote the clean energy and ecotourism object in the country. And the students also have a very clear explanation that for the future tourism, we need to more have the sustainable developments in our tourism object, because the tourism object is a very important object when we want to develop any aspect in our countries, right? For example, but we still need to take a look for the eco-friendly tourism, for example, like clean energy, and for the clean tourism also to make our tourism object is very sustained. That's very good too for the Philippines to promote their futuristic tourism without any like kind of they also can deliver their to promote their culture and their tourism object with the clean energy and sustainable developments. That's very good and very insightful. Cool. And for the last session, for the last students from the Philippine side, there should be Neljan Earl go back.
Hi, thank you. I am Neljan Earl.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to be speaking with all of you today. In behalf of the Mariano Marcos State University Advocates for Cultural Development Organization, can I share my screen, please?
Sure. Yes.
So I will share with you all about our culture of the different tribal communities in our organization. These are the following tribal communities which my constituents belong to. We have Igorot Kantanae, and these are some of instruments and artifacts, and also their costumes. Isneg tribes, tribe. And we have also Tingyan tribe and Ibanag tribe. I'm also glad to showcase to everyone the participation of our indigenous tribal municipalities to our Tanok Provincial Festival here in Ilocos Norte.
Okay, thank you, Neljan. It's very clear explanations. Ladies and gentlemen, Neljan want also to show the culture people in the Philippines. Like, yeah, here is.
And that's it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Neljan. It's very insightful because you want to try to emphasize or to try to like promoting your cultural like cultural ceremony and cultural show in your country, and also you want to promote your indigenous people culture. Yes, it's having similarities in Indonesia also. It's become like the Filipinos islands, the archipelago of the Philippines is very close to Indonesians. Let's say Sulawesi Sulawesi island or in Eastern Indonesians culture, right? It's very similar with Eastern Indonesian culture. I ever see that also in my sister's hometown in Sulawesi. It's similar with the Torajan people also. That's very nice. Why we want to the Neljan want to try to explain to you all of you why we need to protect our indigenous people and our indigenous culture, because they are very matters as our like inventory of the nations. It's very precious for our nations and as our identity for becomes like Filipinos also. And thank you for all of you. The first questions is and for the Filipinas. Selamat. Yes, selamat is also same, right? In Philippines, selamat, right? Is that true? Is that right? Selamat. What
Right,
means like
that's right.
thank you, right? Yeah, there are so many similarities because we are, if we take a look back for the anthropology, for the culture anthropology, we are same from the Austronesian, right? Austronesians, we are same for the Austronesian, but I want to, we still have time before we jump into the Indonesian side. I want to ask a question for you. This is one question. How did you, during these pandemic situations, how did you still can make how to create a sustainable to promote all of your tourism, ecotourism, and for the cultural too, for the Philippine students. It's very challenging to us when we are in the very pandemic situation, right? And yeah, that's make us, there is something limitations. How did you emphasize your people and the world, engage the world to still curious to eager to know about the Philippines, to promote your country too?
Hello.
Yes.
Because of the pandemic, we have transitioned from the physical setting to the virtual world. And by just giving a continuous dialogue through the use of internet and through the use of the cyberspace, we're still able to promote our tourism here in our countries.
Okay, all right. Thank you for your explanations. That's very cool, right? Because we face many challenges in the pandemic situations, especially to promote our countries. Like, for example, like we cannot help, for example, like cultural show because of the pandemic situations. But in here, the Filipinos very have more examples, like have high spirit to promote their nations, to create sustainable ecotourism in their nations. That's very good, and it's very very insightful, and we need to learn too. And thank you all of the Philippine students, and let's next to the Indonesian students and Moroccan students. And let me repeat the questions. As Indonesians, Philippines, or Moroccan students, what specialties of your country do you want to promote to foreigners? For Indonesian side, time is yours. Who want to be the first speaker?
Well, I'm going to start, if you don't mind.
Yes, Aymen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lutfi. Well, first and first, I would like to say thank you so much for granting us this opportunity, and my special thanks to Universidad Muhammadiyah Purwokerto for organizing such an event, which is full of various knowledge as well as various activities. Well, considering a question that deals with what do I want to promote about my country to foreigners, is talking about the gastronomical aspect. See that Morocco is a country that is well known by its various delicious food, the sweet one as well as the salty one. And Moroccan cuisine is considered as one of the first delectable cuisine, not only in the Arabian countries, but also in the African countries. And most of the foreigners who have tried Moroccan food, they fall in love in it, and it becomes like such one of the attractive things for them. Well, there are two famous plates here in Morocco that they have really a great reputation, not only in the Moroccan area, but also in the Western area, which are tagine and also shabakia, which is made of vegetables, as well as like some beef and also meat, and they were presented in some Western countries, such as the European countries, as well as the United States of America. So in some international TV cuisine or cooking competition, such as Master Chef. And the tagine is made of a pottery or an earthenware dish made of two parts, a stew cover and a lower bowl, as in the induction tagine, to make a recipe for chicken tagine, lamb tagine, as well as Moroccan tagine and vegetable tagine. And the second thing that I would like to recommend every people that who are planning to come to Morocco is that Morocco is a country that is truly well known by its hospitality. See that Morocco is the third welcoming country in the world, according to the World Economic Forum. If you are a foreigner here coming to Morocco, or even you are a local that arrived to a city that don't know where to go and where you don't know where to stay, if you knock any door randomly, the owner will open his door for you and let you stay in his house for 3 days with a big smile and provide you the best food and clothes that he has in his house. This habit was irritated from our ancestors following our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Thank you so much.
Whoa, clear explanation. Thank you so much. I mean, you explains your also the cultural background too. For example, like a Tajin, there is so many Tajin. But before you explain it, I just only want to only know one of the called cuisines, just one Tajin. But you explain more there's so many tangents, you know. It's very great and it's look delicious also. And yes, this is a clear explanation about the Aymen because the influence in the Moroccan culture is it's also the influence from the Europe because they are very close. But here's you still have time 1 minute. I want to ask to you also. And how did you like how did your culture still engage the global community? Either you coming from like Andalusians, right? But sometimes when the people know about mention about Africa, it's still like underdeveloped country, and it's like very underdeveloped country. How did you want to emphasize people all over around the world that country in Africa has also beautiful too?
Yes, thank you so much for your question. Well, since I'm a video maker, so I make videos, a lot of videos in all the social media platforms. I tried with me and some of my friends. I made like some company, a small company in Morocco in order to promote Africa. I had intention since about 4 years ago. So we are launching this online company in order to make videos and let people from all around the world to discover not only Morocco, but also since Morocco is located in Africa, I would also to develop and also to promote the African countries in order to have in order to broaden the horizons of the African countries. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Lutfi.
Thank you. That's very insightful. So, thank you, Aymen, for your explanations. I hope all of the students can also learn from the Moroccan because we are very, very multicultural, right? There's Moroccan, Indonesian, as well as the Philippines. And for the next participant who wants to answer, Aurora or Desi?
Aurora.
Okay, Aurora.
All right, everyone, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, please.
All right. So, hello, everyone. Hello to my fellow MMSU friend and everyone. Thank you for having me today as a speaker. But unlike the other speaker, I don't have any screen to share, but I do have a site to share to all of you guys. All right. So today, to answer the question number 1, which is what is something that I want to promote to the world, to the Philippine or to the Moroccan student about Indonesia is Jakarta. And I bet you guys have heard a lot of things about Bali, but Jakarta is a place that has a totally different with Bali itself. Okay, so what makes Jakarta different with Bali? Because it is Jakarta has a rich Japanese culture there. You know, like it's heavily it's ruled by the Japanese too, Japanese government too, and you can clearly see a lot of ornament, Japanese ornament here and there in Jakarta, even in a public facility and all this stuff. And I just stop in a, you know, what is it you guys call ornament. Jakarta also has a great temple, which is great to visit. And that's about it. Is there any question?
No. Yes. Yeah. I give you also a chance to all of students, either from the Philippines or Indonesians. There is still 3 minutes left, right? To ask a question to Aurora too, who want to ask a questions, please I give your time. Don't hesitate to ask a question because we are free to ask a question all of about our culture, right? All right, I'm waiting for you. Okay. Is there no questions? I want to close in 3, 2, 1. Yes, because it still have a time around 2 minutes. The Auroras give us understanding about the cultural center in Java Islands. Say between the Philippines or Indonesian, we are in an archipelago country, right? We have many islands in our country, and there is some things like a cultural difference in every island. For example, like in Java, the Aurora want to explain to us about the Yogyakarta. Why it's matter? Because the Yogyakarta is become the cultural centers in Java Islands. It's quite different with the Bali becomes a center of the tourism of Indonesia, but Yogyakarta, if you want to learn more about the Japanese civilization, Japanese culture, and many more, you can go to Yogyakarta because in the past also Yogyakarta has become the center of the civilizations in Indonesia. Like why there are so many temple like Hindu temple or Buddhist temple because around in 18 BC or in 18 like it's around 18 BC or something like that. If I'm not mistaken. The first Japanese civilizations held in there for the Shailendra dynasty built up the most popular temple in the world, Buddhist temple that's called Borobudur, and also the first Hindu civilizations from the old Mataram dynasty held in Yogyakarta also. And for the modern civilizations, modern Japanese civilization also become centered in Yogyakarta also because like Mataram Muslims held in center of the Yogyakarta too. That's it, and very clear and very cool, Aurora. Thank you. And for the last, from the first questions for the Indonesian students belongs to Desi. Do you want to? Yes, Desi, are you there?
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Yes, good morning.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for Lutfi to giving me the opportunity to share my opinion in this section. About the first session, as an Indonesian student, the special session that I would like to share to promote to foreigners is, in this case, I have several answers, include culinary, tourism place, and traditional fabrics or clothes. But on this occasion, I want to talk more about traditional clothes. In Indonesia, we have various types of traditional clothes from various regions in Indonesia. Talking about typical Indonesian clothes, I'm sure most of you must have thought about one type. Yeah, it is batik, which familiar or even global. And in Indonesia itself, there are various types of batik and also various motifs according to the culture of each region. Therefore, today I want to talk about batik. Okay, in Indonesia, there are various types of woven fabrics, especially hand woven textile. And there are dozens of types originally from various regions in Indonesia, some of which are Batak ulos woven fabric, originally from North Sumatra or Medan, which are also quite famous and have many enthusiasts. And the second one is lurik from Central Java and Bringsing from Bali, Sumba woven, Duna Isana woven, Toraja woven, Pandai Sike woven fabric from West Sumatra, and also tapis from Lampung and other various types of. And today, like I'm wearing lurik that originally from special region of Yogyakarta that Aurora mentioned before. This cloth was originally only used by ordinary people as a symbol of simplicity, but over the time it used by families of the royal palace in the special region of Yogyakarta, and today even everybody can wear it. Why I prefer to promote Indonesian traditional clothes? Well, because I want to travel to another country with diplomacy background or studying abroad with purpose to introduce Indonesian culture to the international scene. Okay, I think that's all.
Okay, that's very clear. And thank you, Desi. And you still have time, 1 minute. do you want to add some additional informations? Or for those students who want to ask anything about the Indonesian cuisine to Desi? Time is yours.
Hello.
Yes.
Can I share my screen to everyone? Because Desi have talked about Indonesian traditional clothing.
Yes.
Because I've attended. Wait, I cannot share my screen because I've attended a summit, ASEAN China Young Leader Summit, and I represented the Philippines under the ASEAN Foundation. And on the cultural activities, they told us that we should wear our traditional costume because I've visited Indonesia once, and I had some clothing that I've bought in your country. I just wanted to share this to everyone that I did use your sarong and the headpiece. I'm not sure how do you call that one on the cultural activities of that summit. So yeah, just wanted to share that to everyone.
Wow, yes, there's some similarities between our culture, right? Thank you, Sant. You also show us about the similarities between the custom of our culture and your culture too. And that's very great. If I were you, you become one of the representative of your country in ASEAN China cultural meetings, right? And give applause for the San and Desi too. And finally, we have the second. The first questions for the first sessions is enough, and we're going to the second questions. And for the second questions, I have swapped the mechanism. The first answer is coming from Indonesians, and the second answer is coming from Philippines. And here's the questions. Please, what is your reason to plan traveling to another country, and why you want to traveling another country? Like, what is your reason if you have changed to travel to another country, or if you plan it to going to another country for traveling?
Hello.
For Indonesian sites, first time is yours. Who want to be the first speaker?
Is it the Indonesian first?
Yes, it's Indonesian first.
Okay,
I changed the mechanism for this second question. All right. Aymen, do you want to answer the question? Yes, Aymen, time is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Lutfi. Well, concerning your question, that deals with what are the reasons behind planning to travel according to me? Well, there are various reasons behind traveling to another country. First thing first is like to acquire a new culture and melt within it, the thing that will strengthen and build a strong personality for me. And it helps me to moderate myself in any such kind of situation. And also it helps me to enhance my creativity and also broaden my horizons. What is more is that while traveling, I like to share my daily life with the others and try to be as much as I can as an indigenous and try to learn the customs and traditions of the other country and try to be as an indigenous, as I mentioned earlier, within the society in order to learn the customs and traditions as fast as I can. So the thing that will boost my confidence, and because I feel no longer as a foreigner, and instead I feel like as one or a part of the community or the society that I'm in. The last reason behind planning to travel according to me that I want to throw light on it is the biggest reason for me, which is improving my mental health and also cutting down on the stress and also achieve the peace of mind, because while traveling, I feel more comfortable and less stressed. Thank you so much, Mr. Lutfi.
Thank you so much. I mean, that's very insightful answer, right? But you still have 3 minutes left before I end up for your sessions. Or if you both, either from the Philippine students or Indonesian students, want to ask a question to Aymen, time is yours. I give you a chance to ask the Aymen. Or maybe from the lectures, do you want to ask the questions? So, I mean, we still have 3 minutes left. All right. If it's no, Aymen, do you want to add some additional informations?
No, thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Okay, thank you for your answer. It's very insightful that Aymen want to travel to the world because travel to another country because he want to learn about something culture new or learn something like indigenous people. How does indigenous people create a culture in the nations and how the culture become the cultural identity for the nations. It's very great for us to become a global citizens to create understanding by we are visiting another country. And for the second speaker, who belongs to either the Aurora or Desi, which want to become second speaker?
Aurora.
Okay, Aurora.
Again, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so in order to answer the second question, okay, so I personally have 3 main reasons why I want to go abroad, like to travel abroad, because I want to learn. That's my first. This one is my first reason, because I want to learn without even trying. Like what I'm in here, learn without trying what I'm in here is that sometimes or oftentimes it's easier for us to learn things when you can somehow build a connection to your own experience, and that is what traveling does, right? And my second reason why I want to go abroad, travel abroad, or else I want to learn to get around in a new environment, because in this new environment, I personally, or probably like we are more likely to do something like do new things that we don't usually do when we are at home. Is that correct? Yeah. And the last thing is that after all of these such experiences that we have experienced during the travel and go abroad, this somehow can shape a better me, a better self of us, something. That's about it.
Wow, that's very cool. Yeah, you have three reason why you want to go abroad, because you want to shape the best versions of your life, the best versions of yourself based on your experience by you visiting another country. But in here, there still have some. There is still 2 minutes left before you end up your sessions.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to add some additional informations or something? Well, I think you're freezing. Okay. It's enough. Or lecturers or students, either from the Mariano Marcos State University or OMP students, do you want to ask a question for Aurora, please? All right, if it's no, I want to close the session for Aurora in 3, 2, 1. Yes, and the next sessions belongs to Desi to answer the questions. Desi, time is yours.
Okay, is my voice clear?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, the reason why I want to travel to another countries, or while I have the opportunity to studying abroad, is to introduce Indonesian culture to the international scene and bring up the traditional fabric one that I have mentioned to the first question. And why I don't bring up the culinary or tourism place in Indonesia, because both of these things are very difficult to bring up physically, go to the country that I will visit in the future. Because as we know lately, the Ministry of the Culture and Tourism is incessantly developing the tourism sector in Indonesia. And for the culinary part, there are quite a lot of media that can introduce it in this era, such as food bloggers. And the thing that is most likely for me to promote physically, that I bring physically, is the typical fabric or clothes from Indonesia. Besides being easy to bring, the typical fabric from the region in Indonesia is mostly made by manually processed or hand woven process. This is make the fabric or clothes has a unique and high value, so that we as an Indonesian nation should be proud to have various kinds of traditional fabrics or traditional clothes in Indonesia. Of course, not only proud to have it, but also proud to wear it. I think enough.
Okay, thank you. The reason why you want to go abroad is because you want to promote your culture based on the cultural custom, the local custom, for example, like batik or something, and also become the gastro diplomacy, right? That's very nice when we are going abroad without we are trying to yes, tasting the local cuisine of the country that we going, like, right? For example, like when we are going to Philippines, we want to try the traditional cuisine, or for example, when we are going to Bali or something, we want to try the cuisine. Also, if we have a long stay in there, we want to promote our cuisine to the people in the another country or the host country, right? And actually, your session still have 1 minute left. Do you want to add some additional information, Desi?
Maybe I would like to share my screen to take a look for the tourism place in Indonesia.
Yes, sure.
Okay. My screen stuck. Okay, so this is the top destination in Indonesia, one of the top destination in Indonesia, such as Borobudur.
Sorry, Desi, your screen has not started yet. It's not appearing in the computer. It doesn't appear. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, this is Borobudur. We're located in Magelang, is Central Java, and this is Bromo, also Kawah Ijen, and this is Lawang Sewu. This is Pink Beach and Komodo Island, and I'm originally from Lampung, so I'd like to share with you about my region. This is the traditional clothes from Lampung. There are two tribes in Lampung. It's Pepadun and Saibatin. And also this is the food, traditional food from Lampung. It's rawit. And it's sambal tempoyak. It's the unique one. It's made from durian that has the next is Tanjung Setia. Tanjung Setia is one of the most famous location in Lampung that have a serving spot. And then we have Taman Nasional Waikambas, is the 11 captivity. And then the next is Pahawang Island that have diving spot. Okay, I think it's enough.
Okay, thank you. That's very insightful. It's very diversity in the kite chasing, right? You can go to, for those who want to go to Lampung, please contact Desi also. You want to be guide? Yes, you can do be guide, right? You can guide us to, yeah, to Lampung. And there is some similarities with Philippines too. I ever visit Philippines in Bohol Islands, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm transited from the Taiwan and using Philippines Airlines and hangover for 2 days, and it's very beautiful country, Philippines. And for the answer, the next sessions for the second questions belongs to the Philippines Filipinos students. For the Filipino students, time is yours. Who want to be the first speaker?
Should I go first again?
Yes, and cool. Go straight.
I couldn't agree more to everyone they shared. And also that's also my personal reason why would I visit a country, to learn and to understand also their culture and their way of life. Personally, as a sociology student, my desire is not only to explore their historical places and their tourist spot, but also to visit some communities. In this way, we will be able to understand their current situation so that we could also expand our understanding and to know where to help at some point. At the same time, to share also to everyone that these communities could also offer something to the world. And these communities are also experiencing different problems. And through that, the way we understand them, the way we interact with them, we could also find ways to better help them. So yeah.
All right, thank you for your explanation. That's quite clear. That's because, because you want to promote your indigenous culture too. You want to become the diplomacy for your country. That's very good. The reason for us to become a world traveler, right? And you still have time, around 5.5 minutes. Do you want to add some additional information, Sam?
None from my end.
Okay. May I share my personal experience? All right. So personally, I'm not from around here. I'm currently a foreigner from the US. I've been traveling a lot. I've traveled to many places, many countries, and it's great exposure, visiting countries. It gives you a lot of perspective, seeing the different points of view of how differently people live compared to how you live normally. There's different cultures, different lifestyles, and it's easier to learn how things are instead of just seeing it through a video or online, but exposing yourself to the culture when you're actually there. Yeah, it gets you out of your comfort zone. It really places you to see how things are, and not just what everyone wants you to see, but you can actually step in and see the different types of things that some people don't want you to see normally. So how different, how hard life can be in these places sometimes. And I like to expose myself to those places and learn more, maybe help do what I can do, and probably make a positive change if I could in my community that I've been to. So yeah, it's a great learning experience, great place to expose and learn a lot more than what you would normally do at home. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm not Deepo. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry for the because the internet connection here is unstable. Yes, that's very clear. Thank you, Hector, to explain your answer. You still have 1 minute left. Do you want to add some additional information?
Maybe I'll share my experience here in the Philippines that I've been experiencing since I came here. So, why I decided to come here to the Philippines, it was actually, I was just curious, you know, it was purely coincidental. My family happened to have an extra ticket lying around, and I was lucky enough and blessed to be able to fill that spot. Sorry. So I was lucky enough to visit, and I wanted to see and experience my motherland, and I'd never been here ever in my life, so I wanted to visit for the first time. It has allowed me to learn more and grow closer to my culture that I've long lost since I was a kid in America. So I've been able to reconnect, and I was able to, you know, fully grow and admire the real beauty of the place. And I decided to stay here a little longer and try to receive my degree here in the Philippines, and I decided to study here. So the rest is history, and I'm currently pursuing my degree in the nursing program here at MMSU. So thank you.
All right, thank you for your explanation. That's very clear, and why you want to visit another country. And yeah, it's because you want to learn more about your the destination country, right? And here's also you also mentioned some things kind of like ecotourism, ecotourism objects also in the Philippines, right? We have some similarities objects between Indonesians and tourism object or natural or ecotourism object in Indonesia and the Philippines, because we have similarities in the zone of the flora and fauna. Let's say, if I'm not mistaken, it's Weber, and also like Australians and Asiatic zones, and the Philippines also belongs to the one kind of like indigenous endemic zones in three zones in Indonesia also. And thank you for your explanation. That's very clear, Hector. And the next is Neljan, right?
It's
For
Neljan.
the next.
It's
Yes,
Neljan. Okay.
Neljan.
My answer to the question, if
Yes,
I have
sure.
the opportunity to visit another country, as a young man belonging to a tribal community, it is my dream to travel to another country to know and learn about their culture. And in visiting another country also, it is my aim to learn about their culture, particularly their costumes, dances, their special arts, and special skills also. And maybe I want to taste their different foods. That's it, po.
Yeah, thank you, Neljan, for giving your explanation to us, your reason why you want to visit another culture, because you want to learn something about, for example, like culture, or you want to emphasize your knowledge in your cultural understanding in when you are visiting in the destination country you want to know. And For the last questions, it belongs to the mechanism. For the last question is first, the Philippine students answer first. The first answer belongs to the Philippine students, and the second answer belongs to the Indonesian students. And the question is, dealing with number two, like what is your reason to plan traveling to another country? Dealing with that questions, what do you want to know and learn from the country you visit, or your what do you want to know and learn from your destination country? For the Philippine student, time is yours.
I think I should go first again.
Yes, Sam. Sure.
Okay. I have this trifecta. You know, three things to do if you wanted to visit a country. So first one is, of course, try their food. The other one is to socialize with the local. The third one and the last one is to visit museums. These 3 points, or this three things to do, encapsulated the idea of understanding and learning one's culture. Food. My anthropologist professor told us before flying to Malaysia, she told us that one way of understanding one culture is through food. Not only through a man's heart, but also through understanding one culture. Another one is to socialize with the locals. Of course, you have to expand your network. You have to create sustainable friendship with the locals. And through that, you were able to understand their way of life and to learn their culture. And last one is to visit museums. We have to understand that our identity, the country, the culture and the ideologies of the country is interwoven to the history. So through visiting museums, through appreciating pieces of arts, clothing, etc., through that we will be able to understand the culture of one country. So yeah, that's it.
Whoa, that's very cool, right? I'm agree with you. When you want to visit a country, you need to learn first about the anthropological aspect in that country. For example, like how does the civilization was built based on the cultural background. For example, like understanding based on the for example, like you going to the museum to understand how the civilization was made or the civilization was created, and that's very cool enough. And for those who want to visiting Indonesian too, or yeah, I want to promote to you, all of you, also either from Indonesian students or Philippine students. If you want to learn more about our culture, you can go to our what you call that, like prehistorical civilization museum. We have it in Nawi city that originated our beloved lectures come from. Memnur is coming from there. There is one of the museum called what you call Trinil, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, yes, because they are answering the one of the Charles Darwin is missing piece of the prehistoric human prehistoric culture. It's called Pithecanthropus erectus, was founded in there during the Dutch colonies. And the second is about Ngandong also, and Ngandong Museum, and in one of the in Central Java there is also one museum in Sragen, Sangiran, if I'm not mistaken. If you want to learn anthropological of the culture and prehistoric civilization, that's very makes sense. If the Sen tell us about if you want to know about how the culture identity was made in that country, in the country destination, we can learn it from the museum. Thank you, Sen. Thank you for your explanation. That's very cool. It's very clear. And the second belongs to Hector or Neljan.
Okay, may I go?
Yes.
To reiterate, agreeing with Sean, exposing yourself with the culture, the food, museums, socializing with the community. Yeah, I feel it's best to and easiest to learn about the community with the food, such as like joining a family and exposing yourself to their language and learning how to cook the food they make and learn what foods they put in and how they care and how they create the foods. And along the way, you can also learn the local languages. I know I've had a hard time first time here. By spending time with the families here, I've been allowed to grow closer to the culture, sharing the foods, the language, like Ilocos. I'm still learning, but the first time I was here, I didn't know a thing, but yet I'm progressing slowly, and I hope that the more I'm here, I can expose myself to more and more and learn a lot more along the way while meeting a lot more people and exposing to a lot more experiences.
Right, that's very cool that you want to why you want to visiting this country. What you want to learn is about the culture, cuisine, because cuisine is by you learn how to make the local cuisine or traditional cuisine. You want to also learn how they care the food, how they care the family, because the cuisine is also the one of the culture identity, right, Hector? That's very clear. Do you want to add some additional information? You still have 1 minute left.
I'm okay.
Okay, it's enough. That's it. Thank you for Hector for your explanation. I hope all of you can catch all of the Hector's explanations. That's very insightful. And for the last sessions from the Philippines, we're going to Neljan.
Hello?
Neljan, time is yours.
Okay. In visiting another country also, it is my goal also to learn about their culture, of course, and know everything about the value of the people living there. And I want to see their different destinations and have some friends there. That's all.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. That's very clear, but you still have time around 2.5 minutes left. Do you want to add some informations?
I think I'm okay already.
Okay, you're enough. I think if I'm sum up from the Philippines students' explanation about what you want to learn if you want to visit the country, that destination country or host country, if you have a voluntary project or if you have exchange project in there, from the Sam, he wants to learn about the anthropological because it's matched with his field in study in the sociology. And the second is from Hector. He also wants to learn about the local cuisine. And the last one from the Neljan, he wants to also learn about the culture, our indigenous people in some destination country. Yes. That's very makes sense during triggering with our question too, because if we want to create the best on cultural understanding, we should learn how the people develop their social communications, how the people connect each others, and how the people have their social life based on their cuisine, and for example, how the civilization was made based on the anthropological. This very makes sense. And the next sessions belongs to Indonesian students and Moroccan students. Do you want to who want to be the first speaker?
Can I start, please?
Yes, please.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lutfi. Well, considering the question that there's what do I want to learn, or what do I want to put another way, what do I want to know about the country, about my target country that I'm going to visit, is a vast question. And also because it includes many aspects, but I'm going to limit my question in just some points which are truly fundamental and important for me and for the majority overwhelming of people who are going abroad to visit a new country with its various cultures, such as Indonesia. talking about the last point, which is culture, no wonder if we see, and it's crystal and clear, that each culture is unique and distinctive, and no one culture is superior or inferior. That is why learning about a new culture for me will help me to discover and see how people think and live their daily life by using the comparative approach, which look for the similarities as well as the differences that exist between my own country, which is Morocco, and my target country, which is Indonesia, for example, in this case. Well, in addition to the above mentioned points, since I'm a man who is into cuisine and loves eating, I would like also to discover some of the Indonesian gastronomy. See that Indonesia is a country that is well-known country by its spicy food, as I've already started testing some of it, but it looks that my part is still truly long because I cannot end it in 1 or 2 months. What is more is that each country is unique in terms of the musical aspect, and each country has its own way, has its own instrument of music, and the way to perform it differ from a country to another. This is one of the most things that attracts me really, and if the musical aspect of the country, of my target country that I'm going to visit attracts me truly, really, so I prefer to stay in this country for a long period in order to feel the vibe and enjoy every single moment there. I can conclude my last point by throwing light on that the way that each country, its people dress up is one of the most things that I want to learn and discover about, because seeing the same type of clothes in my country and the surrounding Arab countries make me feel really good when to go abroad in order to see something which is truly new. So the type of the clothes that I'm into it is the traditional clothes in Asia in general and in Indonesia in particular. As I've already discovered some of the traditional clothes in Indonesia, and it's called sarung, and it is used, I've seen that most of the men here use it when they want to go to the mosque in order to do their 5 prayers. And for the women, I've discovered that there is something called mukanna. They use it also to do their religion stuff in order to go to pray the 5 prayers every single day. Thank you so much, Mr. Lutfi, another time.
Yes, thank you so much for your explanation too. You want to learn from your host country, as let's say Indonesia, and you want to learn about the cultural understanding in Indonesia also, based on your cultural background in your home country, right? And that's very insightful and very quite clear explanations. Okay, for the next is belong to Aurora or Desi.
Aurora.
Okay, cool. Time is yours.
Yeah. All right. Let me check again. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, Aurora.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, of course,
Aurora, sorry, we cannot hear you.
Oh, my bad. All right. So, how about now? Am I audible?
Yes, you did.
All right. So, what to learn during go abroad is that my main is learn a social culture, because social culture, especially those who have like a completely different background from my country of origin, which is Indonesia. And also, I extremely agree with what Sean have said, that we can learn a culture through food. And yeah, that's it.
Yes, thank you for the explanation. That's very clear and quite very very clear explanation, and it's very insightful from the Aurora. I heard that you can soon can travel to around the world and learn and get what you expect when you are traveling around the world. And for the next speaker belongs to Desi. Desi, time is yours to give the explanations.
What I want to know and learn from the country I'll visit in the future is the culture and history that exists in that country, so that I can learn and understand the differences that exist in each country, especially with my own country, Indonesia. That way, I will have more insight, and it will be easier for me when have an interact with the citizens of that country. Also, maybe discover unique things that maybe I could share with other Indonesian also. And I'd be so happy if I could have tried to the spiciest food from every country that I visit because I love spicy food. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your explanation that you want to learn about it cuisine, right? I think you love cooking. Do you?
Yes.
Yes, me too. I love the cooking too. Yeah, from the Indonesian side discussions, either for Aymen, he's come from the African states and especially from Morocco. From the Morocco, he wants to learn more about Indonesian. Why he choose Indonesians as his host country to study, because besides he wants to learn more about the language in Indonesia, for example, like in this major or in this department, he also wants to learn so many culture understanding to make like create a better cultural understanding. I hope Aymen also become the next Ibnu Battuta as the one of all diplomacy in Indonesia also. And for all of you, for Aurora and Desi, that's very insightful explanations. And finally, we reach our last sessions. This is our last sessions, and thank you for both the Philippines and Indonesian students. I want to say selamat for all of you to pass all to, and also thanks for all of you to give us your knowledge and your understanding. I hope you can also explain. You can also like share more about your country, about your culture to us. But here still have 3 minutes left, either from the Philippine student, all of the Philippine student, or Indonesia, all of the Indonesian students from the OMP. Do you want to ask questions to all of the speakers in here? Or do you want to share something? I give you time. Right. If it's no, I want to close in 3, 2, 1. I'm audible. Sorry.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for Neljan, Hector, and Sen. Selamat, and thank you Mabuhay, and for all the Philippine students also who give the explanation. Also for Aymen, thank you. For Aurora, thank you also, and for Desi. And that was very insightful. Before we close it, I want to share you too about my experience to when I'm going abroad regarding with cross-cultural understanding. I ever go abroad to Singapore, to China, to Taiwan, and to Philippines too also. And I also have friends I'm making friends in there. For the purposes is the experience purposes is going to the voluntary experience. I'm staying in China for a long time, for 3 months, and in Taiwan also 3 months. I also learned the language, how the people communicate, what is different. Even though the China and Taiwan have same culture, they have also some differences. And also in the Philippines, there are so many similarities in Indonesia, and it's very make me like it's a very beautiful country. It's make me like it's like home, and especially when I going with Philippines Airlines, they say from the heart of the Filipinos. That's very make me interesting with the Philippines. Oh my God, it's very make me amazed with the Philippines. Like they say from the heart of the Filipinos. That's very thoughtful and very clear, very like friendly greetings from the Philippines. That's very clear. Okay, as our session was complete for the talk show, I give back to the MC, Gayatri Laxmi. I come back to you. Time is yours.
Thank you to all the speakers and the moderator. May all of us get the value and benefits from this event. Before I close this event, let's take a picture together. To all the participants, please turn on your camera. Okay, for the first slide. 3, 2, 1. The next slide. 3, 2, 1. Next slide. 3, 2, 1. Okay, the next slide. 3, 2, 1. And the last slide. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we are moving on to the closing session for today's event. Let's close today's event by saying Hamdallah together. Thank you for all the participants of today's event. As your MC, I, Gayatri Laksmi Maheswari, apologize for many mistakes I did consciously and or unconsciously throughout today's event. Thank you so much for your attention. See you on the next event with Faculty of Letters. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Ms. Danica. See you next time. And all of you, the students, such a great moment we shared together just now. See you next time.
Thank you.
Happy
Maraming
lunch, our
salamat
Philippine
po.
students.
Mabuhay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.